Business-to-business cold calling can build your business by increasing sales while delivering low-cost results. Over the next little while, I'll present a plan that your business can implement instantaneously to enhance your company's outbound sales targets. While there are no guarantees with any business endeavor when all unforeseen factors are taken into account, my goal for this presentation is to provide information for you to determine whether B2B cold calling is an asset to your company. If B2B cold calling is a sales strategy for your company, the following steps are designed to build your business, increase sales, and decrease overhead. If you decide that B2B cold calling is not designed for your company, I hope this presentation will redirect your company's sales and marketing budgets to more intrinsic purposes suited to your business environment. B2B cold calling will not only enhance your sales team's standard cold calling template of the four following components. 1. Prospecting for new business. 2. Identifying potential clients. 3. Presenting your business solutions. And 4. Closing and fulfilling orders. We will raise the bar by defining what the difference is between telemarketing and B2B cold calling. As an example, B2B cold calling only contacts businesses and discourages contacting residences. SOHOs, or single-owner home offices, can be contacted during appropriate times and under certain conditions. B2B cold calling will be divided into 4 sections. Building a B2B cold calling team. 2. Database preparation and prospecting. 3. Contacting, presenting, and closing. And 4. Daily maintenance and tweaking. Before we build our B2B cold calling pipeline, let's look at some of the startups and ongoing challenges facing B2B cold calling. 1. Hiring talented salespeople. 2. The futility and boredom when hitting a sales drought. 3. The daily overhead to maintain the cold calling strategy. 4. Angry and abusive prospects. 5. Unrealistic sales managers. And 6. The image of cold calling. Number 1. Hiring talented people for cold calling. Before we even dial a number, it's imperative to employ at least one B2B cold caller. The conventional wisdom is that B2B cold calling is an entry-level position where a college grad or sales intern can receive sales experience on the front line. While this may work in some cases, as a sales manager, how will a novice B2B cold caller relate to C-level management, CEOs, CFOs, or purchasing agents? Is someone who is maybe a proactive multitasker, team player, etc., more important than someone who understands industry and business news, communications, marketing, is polite, courteous, speaks clearly? How effective would an MBA grad who can't communicate to a client in 10 seconds about the benefit of your new product be instead of a reliable former waitress who can listen and respond to 20 customers at a time while taking an order and remembering everything without writing it down? Balancing skills and education during the candidate selection process will involve precise components. Human resources who receive the bulk of applicants for the position may find there are no established rules for B2B cold calling. I would suggest a few rules for the candidates. Before your candidates are called in for the interview, email them 3 practice scripts to read to you. Test the practice scripts in person and over the phone from another room at your office. Let them prepare a script during the process. Role play with the HR person as a customer and the candidate as a B2B cold caller. The futility and boredom of being an inside sales cold calling or prospecting for new business with no results, while fellow account managers capture and establish low-hanging fruit and close sales with little or no effort, while the B2B cold caller racks up telephone time. The grass is always greener, and so is the money on the other side of the fence. When done professionally, B2B cold calling is a first-on-the-scene type of skill. Look at other first-on-the-scene professionals: police, fire departments, the Marines, news reporters covering a hazardous news event, or other emergency personnel. While B2B cold calling does not carry the heroic or social importance as these first-on-the-scene professionals, being being first on the scene is a significant aspect of business. IBM was generally first on the scene with a personal computer, Microsoft and Apple first with user-friendly operating systems, Sony with Walkmans and VCRs, Chrysler, the minivan, CBS with All in the Family, a revolutionary new comedy show. The list goes on and on. B2B cold calling is first on the scene with the customer. Boredom of being on the telephone call assembly line. By tweaking and refining your prospect lists and scripts, which will be demonstrated in this presentation, you'll build your B2B cold calling portfolio into a micro business level within the macro corporate environment you work in. 3. The overhead for cold calling outside of the commission, salary, and benefits paid to your B2B cold caller are usually conservative. A computer, telephone, office, or cubicle covers most of the requirements. Because of the talking, you may want to move your B2B cold caller to an area that will not infringe on their coworker space. 4. Angry prospects being abusive and condescending. B2B cold calling is insulated for minimizing negative feedback, which I will address with positively reinforced scripts in this presentation. 5. Critical sales managers expecting immediate fantastic sales results and blaming you for not delivering them. We're presenting a method of developing goals within the larger goals, which sales managers use as a guideline to monitor the B2B cold caller's progress. If you're a sales manager who believes that it'll take 1 or 2 calls to fulfill an order, then B2B cold calling is not for you. The image of cold calling resembling telemarketing or telespam. Everyone has been pestered by a telemarketer or a recorded message bothering us to purchase something or donate money when we don't want to. B2B cold calling can be looked at as reverse customer service. Instead of a business calling you for customer service, the B2B cold caller is providing a new benefit for the customer by taking an opposite but positive approach to customer service. Well, I have experienced all of these and discovered that all the negatives are real, always present, but controllable. Now let's take a look at the positive results of cold calling. As a B2B cold caller, you have the power in the following: discovering new business, making money. The overhead of B2B cold calling is lower than traveling, seminars, and other established marketing vehicles such as costly advertising. Now that we've established a team with identity and purpose, let's move into the next part of Section 1, B2B database preparation and prospecting. Preparation is the key and the least frustrating part of the process. Why? Because you have control of your research. When I was being trained as an investment advisor, the training plan required that the rookie advisor have 5,000 names to call to generate new business. After asking the sales trainer why 5,000, no definitive answer was provided other than the more names, the more chances you'll have to sell. If you can succeed in selling to 1% of those names, you'll have generated 50 clients. Well, a close ratio of 1% was nothing to brag about. And for the record, inevitably, my investment advisor career collapsed faster than the tech bubble of the late 1990s. Telemarketing was not for me. So why 1,000 qualified prospects in place of 5,000 names? Simple math. 50 calls a day while working over 20 business days a month equals 1,000. Combine the 4-week interval with vacation time, sick days, and stat holidays, sales meetings, and other daily factors. That'll generate an overall monthly interval between calls, which is persistent without being a pain or becoming a telemarketer or telespam. A monthly call cycle will keep the sales manager content that you're on the ball, contacting and reconnecting with business contacts. We'll continue to expand on our qualified candidate list in the next few minutes, but let's move along to preparing a list of 1,000 B2B qualified prospects. While a company can purchase contact lists from providers, my strategy can